How many times have you stopped yourself from taking a step forward because your mind kept whispering, but what if it goes wrong? Maybe it was a new job, a relationship, a business idea, or simply speaking up for yourself. And instead of moving forward, you froze, you stayed safe, you stayed small. But let me tell you something powerful. Worrying about what could go wrong has never once stopped things from going wrong. It has only stopped people from trying. We live in a world where our minds are wired to protect us. That's why your brain always scans for danger, for risk, for what might fail. It's trying to keep you safe. But safety doesn't create growth. Comfort doesn't create change. Fear doesn't create fulfillment. Think about life right now. How many opportunities have you let slip away because you worried about failing? Here's the reality. Fear doesn't stop bad things from happening. It only stops good things from unfolding. Worry is like carrying a heavy backpack, full of bricks for a journey you haven't even started. It doesn't make the road easier, it makes it harder. And by the time you finally decide to move, you're already exhausted from carrying a weight that wasn't even necessary. Now imagine this instead. What if every time your brain said, "What if it goes wrong?" you challenge it with, "But what if it goes right?" What if you stopped rehearsing failures and started rehearsing victories? What if you stopped expecting rejection and started expecting acceptance? What if, instead of waiting for the storm, you started preparing for sunshine? Let me remind you, the best chapter of your life won't be written inside your comfort zone. They will be written in the moment you risked. You believe you tried, despite the fear. Yes, things can go wrong. That's life. You'll fail, you'll stumble, you'll make mistakes. But you'll also learn, grow, and get stronger. Failure isn't the enemy. Fear is. Because failure moves you forward, but fear keeps you stuck. Worry is nothing more than wasted imagination. You're picturing all the ways life could break you, instead of imagining all the ways life could break you. You're scripting disasters in your head, instead of scripting breakthroughs. Think about it. What would happen if you put the same energy you spend on worrying into dreaming, planning, and taking action? What would happen if you stopped living in fear of what could go wrong and started chasing what could go right? Maybe you'd finally write that book. Maybe you'd finally start that business. Maybe you'd finally tell that person how you feel. Maybe you'd finally live the life you've been waiting for. The truth is, your future won't be built by your fears. It will be built by your choices. And the choice is yours. Will you let worry control you, or will you take control of your own story? So here's my challenge for you today. The next time you catch yourself thinking, ask yourself, am I imagining failure or am I imagining possibility? And then choose possibility. Choose courage. Choose to believe in what could go right. Because life will always have risks. But the greater risk is never trying. The greater pain is never knowing what could have been. So stop overthinking. Stop letting fear write your story. Stop worrying about what could go wrong. And start building the life you want, not the life you fear. Because at the end of the day, the people who create the future aren't the ones who worry. They're the ones who believe,